This 13th floor video session is powered by The Rock Shop. Hi, welcome to the 13th floor. I'm Marty Duda. Today we have the Miltones with us, or at least a couple of them. We have Milly here and Guy, who's sitting off camera, who's going to join you and play a few songs, right?
Yes, for
So
sure.
welcome.
Thanks for having me. It's so good to be here.
Good to have you here. It's a nice early morning. And
it is, and it's cold, but we're here.
It is cold, yes.
We're all here.
We are all here. So congratulations on the new album. We'll show it to everybody. It's simply called the Miltones.
Yeah.
You were telling me that you had problems coming up with titles, so that's why.
Well, you think you have kind of an idea of what the album is, and you come up with all these amazing plans to make everything relate. Right. But then coming up with a title for the album just seemed really difficult, so we just decided, well, let's just leave it as the Miltones, self-titled, and yeah.
So when you get to the second album, is it going to be 2 and then 3?
Yeah, maybe we'll just keep it like that.
Are you familiar with the band Chicago? They did that up to 24.
Did they?
Yes, they did.
Oh, I didn't know that. Amazing.
But anyway, so before we get rolling here, tell everyone who else is in the band.
So we have Guy Harrison, who we just mentioned. He's on keys.
Yep.
We have Tom Broom, who's our drummer, Liam Pratt, who plays electric guitar, and Chris Marshall, who's our bass player, which is cool. Yeah. Alrighty.
And there's a tour happening and all that stuff that's going on.
So we have our first tour, which is starting this Friday, the 16th of June, at the Lee Sawmill Cafe, which is awesome. And then we roll up to Whangarei after that. And then we sort of head everywhere. We go to Hamilton, Tauranga, we go to Napier, Wellington, and get on down to Dunedin and Christchurch. And yeah, which is going to be awesome, going out and doing that with the band. I'm looking forward to it.
Cool. So let's get into talking about the music here. This was recorded down in Littleton, was it?
Yes, with the great Ben Edwards, which is awesome.
It seems like everyone has been down there that's come through here.
I know.
So what was the experience like for you?
Oh, amazing. It was just so good to get down there and let him because he produced the album as well. And I think the first experience we ever had with recording, and this was before Ben, I was really nervous. I was young, starting off, and the guy sort of took over what we were doing, and we didn't kind of get what we completely wanted. With Ben though, he just knew the best way to work it and work each individual in the band, and yeah, he was fantastic. I always say he put the magic to the sound, because he really did. And you hear it in a lot of the albums that he's done, you know. Right. I listened to Marlon Williams' album and thought, oh God, yeah, we need to go down and talk to this guy. And he's a great guy, he's so nice, and knows the best thing to do for the sound.
So was there a lot of discussion between you and him about what you were looking for? Did he kind of interrogate you? And
No, he didn't interrogate. He kind of just, he would sort of say, yeah, I kind of know what you're saying, but I think we should try for this. Let's just really try this situation and see what it would sound like. And he'd let the band jam for a little bit and play through new examples of what we were wanting to do. Like Wildfire, we had never really anticipated putting that, or even recording that.
Right.
And we played it to him and he went, oh, you need to put this on. We need to record it. And that was amazing. But I kind of just went down and relaxed and thought, just let this guy do his thing. He's done a great job with the albums you've listened to. Just see what he does. Let him work his magic. And it was great. And
were there any kind of sonic surprises that ended up on the record that you're like, oh, we didn't even know we could do that?
There was plenty of things that I never anticipated doing. Like Gypsy Queen, the solo in Gypsy Queen, where we linked 2 of the solos together and they kind of weave through one another.
Oh, cool.
I wasn't, and that sounded really awesome too.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's a whole different world when you have someone else come into something and then they put what they can hear into it. And I don't know, it's more exciting. And we kind of fed off of that, and he was really good at sort of getting us into the zone of doing that. And
cool.
Yeah.
So you guys are going to play a few songs while you're here.
Yes.
And the first one that we're going to hear is called Carlos.
Yeah.
It's one of the many tracks on the album. What can you tell me about that song?
So when I first started to learn how to play music, my dad taught me how to play guitar.
Right.
And he taught me how to play guitar on a Carlos. It was like a Carlos branded guitar.
Right.
But when he passed away, the thing that sort of made most sense to me was to write a song about our connection with music, because he loved me doing music and really wanted me to play. So one night I was just sitting out in the band room, saw the guitar across the room, and it came out in about 5 minutes. It was unreal. I've never done that before. And then along came Carlos, and it's about just the relationship I have with my dad and sharing music.
Cool. Well,
Yeah.
let's give it a listen.
Carlos laying me to sleep in the quiet night. Carlos laying me down with them rosary beads, then I'll count each one. Too many hours have passed where the stillness shatters that glass. All I wanna do is hold on to the shards in my work better than a gun, and I don't know how to walk away from that wall, and I don't know how it'll work out at all. But I'm listening to you, Carlos. It's been too long since those streams mermaid their sweet songs will. All I wanna do is hear them play, and nobody plays it how it was in those days. And I don't know how to take quiet steps, and I don't know how it will pass. But I'm remembering it for what it was. Carlos, oh my Carlos, oh my Carlos.
Okay, we're back here with Milly of the Miltones. I
Yay.
like the name thing. Very
Oh.
cool. Did you think of that yourself?
Actually, a kid I was teaching guitar at the time said, "Why don't you just call yourselves the Miltones because your name's Milly?"
Uh-huh.
I didn't want to do it, but it kind of just stuck. Yeah, so I guess it worked out pretty good. Yeah.
Exactly. So the song we just heard, Carlos, is, like you mentioned, kind of based around growing up in your father's input. What kind of music were you exposed to when you were growing up?
So a lot of Neil Young,
Yeah.
the Guess Who.
Oh,
I
love
love the Guess
I
Who.
think I know Burton Cummings of the Guess Who gets a lot of flack in New Zealand for some reason, but I think he has one of the greatest rock and roll voices of all
Oh,
time.
so do I.
Yeah.
Incredible. I love the Guess Who, and actually the Guess Who is one of my biggest influences for the band, and Guy, who plays keys, does such a great job of doing it. But it was the keys
Yeah,
that
Burton
I really
Cummings
wanted.
is a great keyboard player. Do you know the
Oh.
song Albert Flasher?
Yeah, Albert Flasher.
And it worked.
It's
Yeah, it's
so
fantastic.
good. Yeah, I love the Guess Who. So that was great. It's funny because not a lot of people know about the Guess Who.
Right.
But I think they're incredible.
It's funny because they had huge hits for a long period of time
Yeah.
in the early 70s, But like, you never hear anybody saying, "Oh, why aren't the Guess Who in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?" And
Yeah,
blah, blah, blah. You know,
exactly.
it's like, they just
They're
kind of
phenomenal.
Yeah.
One of the best bands. Actually, if I had to listen to one band for the rest of my life and thrash it, it would be the Guess Who. I
Very cool.
love the Guess Who. So yeah, the Guess Who, Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was pretty lucky growing up. Mum and Dad did well sharing that kind of music with me.
Well, I always think it's interesting that your generation is so influenced by your parents' music. I hear it a lot.
Yeah.
Whereas my generation, we didn't want to have anything to
You
do with our
rebelled,
parents.
didn't you? Yeah.
You know, the last thing we wanted to be associated with was Frank Sinatra and
Yeah.
Bing Crosby and, you know, Rosemary Clooney and that stuff.
Yeah.
So
And it's crazy actually that you do say that, because it's so true. Yeah, and you hear stories of people, you know, like from back in the day, like Neil Young talking about music influences, and it wasn't typically what their parents listened to.
No.
A little bit, but not hugely. They always wanted to go to the next thing and find what else was out there.
Yeah, well, they'd go back and listen to the blues or something, you know,
Yeah,
from like
exactly.
the 20s and 30s, which of course their parents probably weren't listening to.
Yeah.
But then you have like Bob Dylan kind of turning it around. Now he's playing all these, recording all these old Frank Sinatra songs.
So cool.
So there you go.
Yeah.
It's cool after all. We just needed Bob to tell us that.
Thanks, Bob.
All right. So the next song we're going to hear is one called Mother's Ruin.
Yeah.
What can you tell me about that one?
Okay, so Mother's Ruin is kind of a roll-off, I guess, from Carlos. So after Dad passed away, my mum had a bit of a bad drinking problem, and my dad did as well. And so things were kind of hard growing up with all of that, and it wasn't bad at all, but it was kind of a big issue in our lives growing up, and it was really hard. And my parents, my dad was an amazing person, my mum just a phenomenal woman. It was hard and it was really difficult. So Mother's Ruin was more of a statement to say that we understand and that no one can kind of judge you for drinking, because man, when Dad passed away, it was excruciating and really hard for the family. So Mother's Ruin was my way of saying to Mum, like, I'm sorry, I understand. Don't worry about the other people out there that are turning heads. It doesn't matter. And actually, she's turned it all around now. So she's hasn't had a drink for a while, and she's a phenomenal woman. Yeah, she's so great.
Excellent. All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's give it a listen.
Lady, break the bottle, keep to sealed and dry. Run silver seal with it, keeps her alive. Encumbered by the cocktails, cup worthy of herself, with glass crystal bottles laid in on her shelf. Cut off her arms now, bathe her in dirty water, living through the sips that gin could have only have taught us. One man's despair is cut through clear, with the people that define her from the crystal glass that she sips through fast at 45%. Oh, my mother's been ruining for some time, too late to cut her down. Oh, my mother, no, my mother.
Okay, we're back here with Milly from the Miltones, and well, we've been talking about the Guess Who and our favorite Guess Who songs. So I think we're gonna have a little listening session when we're done here. Maybe we'll play a few songs.
We will, and
All
I'm
right.
excited for that.
Okay.
Bring it on.
But the band that a lot of people kind of have associated with you guys is Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
So, how do you feel about that?
It's cool. I like Stevie Nicks was a huge influence of mine growing up, and actually she's kind of one of the reasons why I started singing. Like there are definite elements of that sort of whimsical, magical sound, like with Wildfire on the album. But yeah, and then that Americana thing kind of comes through. But it's neat when people can kind of put a bit of a face to it. So if I explain it to someone, I say, oh, I think a little bit of like Fleetwood Mac. And that kind of helps us, because then you get the older generation going, oh yeah, I'll listen to you now. Right. You know, and it kind of works out too, because a lot of younger people still love Fleetwood Mac.
Sure.
You know, so, and it's...
Did you go see them when they were here?
I didn't see them when they came recently, but I saw them in Pukekohe Park down at the Bowl of Brooklands.
All right.
And it was the best experience ever that I knew I shouldn't buy another ticket to go see them, because I didn't think I could beat it.
You don't want to ruin it?
No, it was magical. Mum said it was the biggest tears she's ever seen. I cried the whole time because I loved it.
But I mean, let's face it, most pop music today doesn't sound anything like that. So do you guys kind of feel out of place a little bit in the kind of music that you're making compared to, you know, say what you hear on top 40 radio these days?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know, I don't feel weird about it. It's kind of nice to sort of sit away from that. You know, I was worried that people would think that we were kind of copycats with the album, but it didn't feel that way at all for me. I felt like there was that definite folk side that came through a lot too. Right. And the songs are pretty intense. And I don't know how it would go if you had a song like one of ours on the top 40. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, it feels cool for me. I like it. But yeah, like you say, you don't really hear other bands that have kind of the Fleetwood Mac element to date, but I guess it's kind of cool for us to have. Yeah.
Like you say, it gives people a jumping off point, and then they can take it from there. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. Excellent. Well, we got one more tune that we're going to hear. It's called "The Wanderer." Yes. It's not the song by Dion of Dion and the Belmonts, which I'll have to play that one for you too. Do it. But, that's a real. He's like bragging about how cool he is, and
oh, no way.
Yeah, he goes through all these girls and stuff, and it's from the early 60s, yeah.
Oh,
yours is not like that.
No.
In fact, it's very Fleetwood Mac sounding from what I remember hearing on.
Yeah.
So tell me about the song.
So the song, the album is a really sort of coming of age album for me lyrically. Right. And The Wanderer was about my dad again, and this was straight after he had passed away. This was about 2 weeks after he had passed away. My family disappeared. We went up north and stayed at a batch up at Taupo Bay, just out of Monganui. And it was really nice. I sat there in this batch and I sort of just looked out the window, and our family used to stay up there on holiday quite a lot. And I wrote The Wanderer about how when he passed away, I always thought that I could see him walking around the place, because, you know, you see someone for so long in your life, you know, you anticipate them to walk through the door. And that wasn't happening anymore. So can I have another dream now? What I'm seeing ain't what I've got, you know. I was looking around thinking that I could see my dad, but I couldn't see him anywhere. So I wrote the song about how I had to get used to not seeing him around, and yeah, he'd gone, and it was going to be a new start of my life, and how gutted I was. Yeah.
Well, hopefully people will come out and see you and the rest of the band as they tour around the country.
Yes, I'm so excited. It's going to be a good time.
Sounds like it's going to be fun, and they should. I assume it's on all formats, including the vinyl, the CD, CDs, the digital, the download, the
all online,
streaming, all that stuff. Very good. Well, thank you for coming down.
Thanks for having me. So cool.
We'll wrap up with The Wanderer, and we'll tell people to come out and see you guys.
Yay!
Dream now. What I'm seeing ain't what I've got. Can I have another dream? Lying inside a leisure, which took you to past and pastures of what you love.